Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating question about faith and the places we practice it. And trust me, the answer might not be what you think.
All right, let's just dive right in. The big question: can a Muslim, someone following the Islamic faith, walk into a church, a place of Christian worship, and pray to Allah? What do the sources actually say about this?
Believe it or not, according to the source material we're looking at, the short, simple answer is yes. A Muslim can pray to Allah pretty much anywhere on earth. And yeah, that includes being inside a church.
But hold on, it's not quite that simple. That yes is just the tip of the iceberg. The real answer, it's all in the details. It really boils down to one super critical distinction.
So here's the thing. The core of this ruling, it's not about the where. The building itself isn't the issue. Instead, it's all about the how. It's about the huge difference between praying to your own God versus joining in with another faith's worship.
And this really breaks it down for us. So look, on one side, you have a Muslim just doing their own personal prayer to Allah inside a church. That's considered totally permissible. But then, on the other side, you've got a Muslim actually participating in the worship service, doing it just like Christians do. That is what's forbidden. It's the imitation that's the key here.
And that word, forbidden, brings us to a really important term, haram. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, haram is an Arabic term in Islam for anything that's, strictly forbidden by the faith. And according to the source we're looking at, imitating Christian worship, that falls right into this category.
Okay, so that naturally leads to the big question, right? Why? Why is imitating another faith's worship considered haram? Well, the reasoning for this is all based on a very specific guiding principle. The source actually gives us a few reasons for this. So, first off, there's this general idea that discourages resembling the traditions of other faiths. But, and this is the important part, copying another religion's worship, that's seen as a way bigger deal. The worry is that it could actually weaken someone's own faith, maybe cause some confusion, or in the most extreme case, even lead a person to leave Islam for another religion.
And look, this principle isn't just some abstract idea. It's actually rooted in Scripture. This quote right here, it comes from a hadith, which is a recorded saying of the Prophet Muhammad, and it's really a foundational text for why this prohibition against religious imitation exists.
So, to make this crystal clear, the source material breaks it down for us into two really practical scenarios. Just think of it like this. Two different people walk into a church, but they have completely different reasons for being there.
And this table, man, it just lays it out perfectly. Okay, look at the first person, the worshiper. They go in with the intent to worship like a Christian. In that case, the ruling is pretty stark. They're seen as having left Islam. But then you have the tourist. This person is just there to look around, to observe, maybe learn something. That's totally okay, and it has zero effect on their status as a Muslim.
So, when you boil it all down, the crucial takeaway here is that location, it's really secondary. What really matters, the thing that makes all the difference, is your intention and your actions. The very same building can be a totally fine place for one thing, like a personal prayer or a quick visit, and a forbidden space for another, like imitating another faith's worship.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to chew on. If the building itself is neutral, and all the spiritual weight is on what we do and why we do it, what does that tell us about the incredible power of our intentions, not just in a church, but in every single part of our faith?